CICL, a child in conflict with the law, or CICL refers to a child who is alleged as, accused of, or adjudged as having committed an offense under Philippine laws. The term children in conflict with the law refers to anyone under 18 who comes into contact with the justice system as a result of being suspected or accused of committing an offense. Also, it refers to the principle of restorative justice, Section 22B of Republic Act 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006, mandates the conduct of diversion in the case of CICL above 15 but below 18 years old and was assessed to have acted with discernment. Diversion is a child-appropriate process of determining the responsibility and treatment of CICL with consideration to his or her needs and circumstances without resorting to formal court proceedings.
Ma'am Mary Jessamy Folgar, an RSW or a registered social worker, has been working in Bahay Pag-asa Youth Development Center for 3 years now. She worked here immediately on January 2020 after she took the board exam on 2019. Speaking of the duration of children in conflict with the law inside the Bahay Pag-asa, it says that in their description, it provides short-term residential care for children in conflict with the law who are above 15 but below 18 years of age who are awaiting court disposition of their cases or transferred to other agencies or jurisdiction. So as we all know na yung Bahay Pag-asa is most likely based siya sa law decisions if yung case ng bata needs to be transferred or yung case ng yung bata mismo need to be transferred to other agencies na mas makakatulong sa kanya or mas applicable doon sa case niya, then yan yung gagawin ng Bahay Pag-asa. So mawawala na siya doon sa hawak ng Bahay Pag-asa. And sometimes naman it is more on sa court disposition. So kapag okay na yung bata or pwede na siyang umalis dun sa Bahay Pag-asa is yun yung sinusunod ng mga social workers doon sa loob ng Bahay Pag-asa if okay na rin naman talaga yung bata. So yun yung nagiging kung gaano naka-okay yung case nila, doon binibase kung pwede na silang umalis doon sa agency ng Bahay Pag-asa.
Based on statistics, it is said that today's youth are a bit more prone to illegal drugs because they are often caught in bypass operations by our police officers. So the relatively high cases at the moment are real drugs. And the following is rape, also murder, frustrated homicide, attempted murder, and these are said to be included in the serious cases. Other than that, for example, theft, where the cases are not that serious, so some like this can be solved in barangay diversion. They say we have something called community-based CICL, which means they are in the community, while the center-based CICL, these are the ones in the center. Like for example, earlier in the case of theft. So because their case is not that serious, they will undergo what is called barangay diversion, where cases like this can be solved at the barangay level. While in center-based CICL, here are the serious cases like rape or murder, where the barangay level alone cannot solve it. In center-based, where the help of professionals such as police, lawyers is needed.
We asked personal questions and all of us learned about strategic beginning in working with children in conflict with the law. And this is what we have got from personal purposeful interaction. So it is important that you have harmonized workplace, especially while managing CICL cases, as you are dealing with clients that have serious crimes like murder, rape, drug trafficking, and homicide because you have been exposed to dealing with these diverse surroundings with many situations that they are facing in their lives. So the supervisor has expertise to share in your growth for the agency and for the client's welfare as well. In the back of your mind, people saying that there is a threat in your life working with this kind of clients. So as a worker, it is difficult at first, but with the time and experience and case studies, you may have learned to deal with these issues. Then, knowing yourself properly is also vital because this line of work necessitates self-care that goes beyond what you do for a living. Your ability to start along the path of being a change agent depends on how well you are feeling because one's mental health also includes their emotional, psychological, and social well being. It has an impact on one's thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. And also, it is crucial to overall health, quality of life. Then, self care can help people manage stress, reduce risk of sickness, and have more energy when it comes to their mental health.
In dealing with CICL cases, being a responsible and efficient worker, there was a set of skills to encompass in order to become more successful or being sufficient in handling these cases. So for the first skill na kung saan dapat meron ng isang social worker in dealing the CICL cases is the case management skills. In this kind of skills, it is the ability to connect to resources na kung saan para ma-solve or ma-address ang problem na meron ang ating clients. So, isa ito sa malaking factor sa pag-handle ng CICL. So, kailangan may skills ka sa pag-case management dahil iba't ibang needs ang mayroon ang ganitong case because they are diverse in terms of needs and kind of approach. So, the second one is the oral and written communication. As a social work students, we are experiencing a loads of paperworks. And bilang isang CICL social worker who is working in the field and as a part of the reality na in this profession, in the social work profession, that we are must be good in communication through written and oral platform. Specifically, we are experiencing to do SCSR or the Social Case Study Report. Meron ding ditong progress reports, diversion program at marami pang iba. And in pertaining to CICL related cases, the court o yung korte ay humihingi ng information sa Bahay Pag-asa. So basically partner na silang dalawa. And yung tinatawag nating JJWC, yung Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council, sila yung mandated doon sa batas na RA 9344 or na-amend na siya into Republic Act 10630 na kung saan meron dapat na skills sa oral since ikaw yung nakikipag-usap sa iba't ibang klaseng tao while sa iba't ibang klase ng client. Whereas dito is nakausap mo minsan yung bilang isang worker ay nakausap mo yung mga abogado, judge at mga hindi mabababang tao lang ang iyong makausap dito. So it was very important to have that skills like in oral and written communication. The third one is the referral skills. In reality, sometimes or always na walang resources sa agency or sa mismong center like in school or sa health. So there was a part na merong connections or ability dapat ang isang social worker referring the needs of the CICL cases. And the fourth and last skills na dapat meron ng isang social worker in dealing with CICL cases is ito yung behavioral modification. If we are pertaining to CICL or may mga court-related cases or may mga filed case sa kanila, merong part doon na may problem or deficiency in terms of behaviors na kung saan nandoon sila sa sitwasyon na iyon. Kung bakit sila nasa sitwasyon na iyon. Isa na rito ang factors ay yung community or environment nila and experiences nila. Kaya naapektuhan ang kanilang behaviors specifically ng mga bata or kabataan. So it was important to have that skills in modification on behavioral aspect of the individual bilang isang social worker kasi nai-rehabilitate mo yung bata habang nasa nurture mo or ng center whereas located ang isang social worker. Kumbaga, parang inilalayo natin sila sa immediate environment kung saan nakakommit sila ng ang CICL doon sa incident. Like, binibigyan sila ng panibagong environment ng isang social worker. So, ikaw ay yung mag-guide to have opportunities na sa labas hindi nila naranasan in order na yung social functioning nila ay maging stable.
So, one of the roles of a social worker na nag-handle ng CICL is mediator. It is applied in terms of having conflict between compliance and CICL or CICL to CICL or CICL to other people. So, the social worker can be a mediator, for instance, when there are problems or issues that need to be addressed. The next one is advocate. So, the social worker who handles CICL can be an advocate. For instance, when we push through value or fight for the right of the children. And also, the social worker can be a counselor, especially since the children here have different behavior. It can also help enhance the well-being of the children. So, as a social worker, your responsibility is to encourage them to look at their choices and to find their own way to make a positive change in their lives.
The next role of a social worker in handling with CICL is social broker. So, a social broker, they connect the client to the other agencies that could help for the client. For example, counselor. Because yung counselor daw ay may ibang license. So, they will help the client or refer the client to the counselor for counseling. So, the next is social worker as an enabler. So, as an enabler, they help the client to boost their strength and capacities, and they also guide them for their decision making. So, aside from that, social worker sometimes become an educator. Lalo na nung pandemic na hindi daw allowed yung mga bata sa eskwelahan. So, yung nag-handle ng mga CICL, sila minsan yung nagiging obligado para magturo sa mga bata sa kanilang mga modules at ibang aralin. So, social worker in working with CICL also provides proper rehabilitation para yung mga resources na para sa mga clients ay hindi masayang at mapunta talaga mismo sa mga clients.